Alright, yeah, welcome back to some more Magic Arena, and today we're going back into the historic Artisan after the lovely Christmas break. Hopefully you guys had a good holiday time off, and yeah, let's do it, shall we? Let's do some bonding. So, we're going to be playing the good old Boggles deck, which is not an unknown archetype in this format. It's actually really good because of the way that board wipes just are non-existent at the moment. So the idea behind Boggles is that we're going to play big hexproof creatures, or little hexproof creatures in some cases. In our deck we have Paradise Druid, which has hexproof as long as it's untapped. Jungleborn Pioneer, which is a 2/2 for 3 mana, which actually makes a 1/1 with hexproof, which is what we're going to be sticking the enchantments onto. And then we have Vinemare, which is the best of the Boggles. 4 mana for a 5/3 with hexproof that cannot be blocked by black creatures, which is surprisingly effective, which you'll actually see in some of the gameplay because I've already recorded it today. This deck is solid, so if you want to do your dailies with it, it's going to be one of those. It makes for some really quick games. The idea is the gameplay is simple. We put down a Boggle, so either a Paradise Druid, a Pioneer, or a Vinemare, and once we have that hexproof creature down, we just attach all the auras in our deck to it and win the game that way. So let's talk about the auras that we get to stick on. The main ones that actually ramp up the power and toughness are going to be All That Glitters and Blanchwood Armor, which roughly read the same way but with a different caveat, essentially. Blanchwood Armor is a 3 mana green enchantment aura, which gets +1/+1 for each forest you control. All That Glitters is a 1 and a white, which gets +1/+1 for each artifact or enchantment you control. So we are very much in the artifact and enchantment side of things. We are running a massive 22 in our deck. So this has potential to get 22 pluses on it. And Blanchwood Armor, potential for 15. We're running Evolving Wilds over any dual lands because actually we don't want as many plains as we want forests, because Blanchwood Armor only gets the benefit for the forest. So Evolving Wilds is going to crack. It's going to be both a white source and a green source, but this has the opportunity to be the +1/+1 we need for Blanchwood Armor. Once we've got 1 or 2 plains, we really don't need any more. We should also note that Paradise Druid is also 1 mana of any colour, so if you have one of your other hexproof creatures out, then this is just another white source, and we want to be cracking all of these for forests at that point. Some nice tech that we have is Season of Growth, 1 and a green for an enchantment. Whenever a creature you control enters the battlefield, you get to scry, so we get to find whatever we need. Once we have our hexproof creature, we really only need land drops and auras, depending on the state of the game. Depends on which one you want. Whenever you cast a spell that targets a creature you control, you get to draw a card. So whenever we put an aura on one of our creatures, we draw a card, which is really good. We have Angelic Gift, which kind of does the same thing. Gives flying to our creatures, which can be really useful to get around death-touching things, as well as flyers not being terribly important in this format. There is a blue-white flyers deck going around, so it is kind of nice to have the extra security of being able to block it with the Angelic Gift and the Onsera's Wings both giving flying to your creatures. We want to be able to block and stop their aggro. The main way that we're going to win, though, is by sticking an Onsera's Wings on something. If it has Lifelink and Vigilance, the good old chance is that we actually have a creature that's bigger than our opponents, so it basically shuts down combat at that point. We get to swing in with a Lifelinker, and we get to block with a Lifelinker, and if our creatures are bigger, they're not attacking. We have Bond of Flourishing for the early game as well to help us find our missing pieces. We're running 22 lands, so Bond of Flourishing is those extra land drops in the early game, as is Paradise Druid, as well as being the ability to find things like our Season of Growths, our creatures, or enchantments. This, you could kind of call Boggles a combo deck, but the combo pieces are not entirely relevant. So we've got 12 of one part of our combo piece, which is the creatures, and then we got 22 other combo pieces, actually minus the pacifisms, I guess, and the Season of Growth, so, you know. We've got plenty of combo pieces, which end up being the auras. We put a creature, an enchantment on, we win. That's kind of how this goes. So without further ado, let's get into the gameplay. If you do enjoy this kind of deck, then make sure to hit that like button and subscribe as well for some more content like this in the future. And without further ado, let's get to the gameplay. Alright, we're in, and we've got Season of Growth and Bond of Flourishing, which can make up for the lack of white here. We've got our Boggle, so yeah, it's pretty much good to go. It's obviously on the slower spectrum of Boggles, but, you know, could be pretty decent. The hand looks pretty good, and the life gain off Bond of Flourishing as well should hopefully make up for the slow hand that we've got here, so yeah, seems alright. Just fine. We're also on the draw as well, so we have that mystery factor to take care of. Now, is our opponent on the play like we're on the draw? Gingerbread lady. There she goes. Alright, arrived. It's mono reds. Quite possibly our worst matchup, we'll have to see. We definitely want that Bond of Flourishing to go off. So we could do Bond or Season on turn 2. It really doesn't matter which order we go through, because I imagine we're doing one and then the other regardless, so we'll see. Looks like a pump spell. Rimrock Giant, alright. Taking a little bit more damage than maybe anticipated. And there's all the glitters. Okay. So, yeah, the idea is that basically we're not going to do anything until turn 4, so one of these is going to be my turn 3 play anyway. So I guess I might as well go with Seasonal Growth, since the top deck might actually change my mind on what I pick on Bond of Flourishing, so let's do that. We really just got to hope that we get this this Vine Mare down early, and then if we can stick on Sarah's Wings on it, we just win. I'm pretty sure that's exactly how this is going to go. And our opponent, with us being on 17, they've got to do a lot of damage over the next 2 turns. Alright. So, yeah, let's go. Actually, we'll go Bond of Flourishing first, just in case we get Evolving Wilds for our planes. And we did. Look at that. Beautiful. Gain 3, back up to 17, and then we're just going to crack that for our planes now, because honestly, the mystery factor of showing our opponent we're actually second color is gone the moment we put Evolving Wilds down, so you can kind of guess what we're going to be by the Season of Growth. They should know if they've played this kind of deck enough that we're playing a Boggles deck, because we're going to be scrying off of a hexproof creature and then drawing cards off of things that we attach to it. First one being On Sarah's Wings, making it a 6/4 lifelinker. Ooh, alright. So there goes Vine Mare. We get a Scry. Blanchwood Armor. I think I am happy with that, actually. We're going to be doing On Sarah's Wings first anyway, so we're going to be taking the turn to do that, drawing a card. And then we might want to do, like, Blanchwood. We've got all the glitters, which is, like, virtual Blanchwood. But really, there's nothing else we really need. As long as Vine Mare doesn't die somehow, and I don't know how that's going to happen, we really just don't have any issues. So we're gaining 6 life next turn, so they have to 14 us right here. I'm probably not going to block, because we've already seen Rimrock Knight. So, yeah, they're going to have to do something pretty crazy, like tap out pre-combat for me to want to block here. Now I'm just blocking whatever. Because there's literally nothing I have to worry about now. Yeah. A little bit of a mistake on their end, but I guess they really just see this as I've lost. So let's just go all out, because they kind of have. Let's gain 6. Back up to 15. I don't think they can 15 me by me not blocking. Suppose you never really know, but we'll see. Skewer the critics. Alright. Ghost Knight gonna do a fair bit of damage. Now they've got 1 mana left, so they need... Yep. We can't do anything here. They can attack. I'll gain 6 life if they do, which nullifies 3 of their attackers, and we only take 4. Then we do all it glitters, Blanchwood Armor, and we get 9 million life. So, yeah, let's block there, and yeah. Alright, so we beat Mono Red. I think if you could do that with a pretty slow hand, this deck's got some legs, really. If you can beat Mono Red. They did tap out, which made me actually want to block things. Which is maybe not a good idea for them, but, you know, is what it is, I suppose. Okay, we're in, and it's another really slow hand, unfortunately. We're not actually doing anything for 3 turns with this, so I might take the mulligan. We do have our creature, which is great. You know, Boggles traditionally does have trouble finding its Boggles, but then draws its way back out with a big dirty creature to keep it alive. But yeah, this one looks much better actually. So we got the turn 2 Paradise Druid, which could get us to a turn 3 Vinemare potentially. And from there we can start attaching all of our auras onto it and hopefully doing some good stuff. So what do we want to get rid of here? It might just be the Angelic Gift. It draws us a card and gives Vinemare flying. I'm not sure how important that's going to be. It could also just be Bond of Flourishing, but the life gain might be relevant. We do have a spare one, but that's not necessarily an argument to put it back, because they're both good. I think I'm going for Bond, because if I get Season of Growth, then I've got an aura to draw me a card. I'm not sure on that one. Well, we're going to crack this for a forest now. Element of surprise by not cracking it, blah, 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 don't care. Alright. We get ourselves another forest, cool. So let's get down that Paradise Druid, which gives us Vinemare on turn 3, which is something then we can start attaching auras to and being quite happy about it. Green-black with a Vampire of the Diamoon. Not honestly that sure what our opponent's playing right here, so I'm glad to have the Angelic Gift, though, since the Vampire does have Death Touch. I can't actually swing through it. Although, actually, it can't be blocked by black creatures, so I guess we've got that going for us all the same. Always forget that element of text on Vinemare. Yep, we'll take one. Might be like an Abzan deck, perhaps. Looks like green-black Death Touch Tribal, essentially. So we should expect, like, Vraskas and things like that. So I'm going to go with Bond of Flourishing first, because if we get Season of Growth, then I'll want to play that first before the Angelic Gift. We get All That Glitters. Or a land drop. I think I'd take the All That Glitters. Since we've already got the Flyer, can't be blocked by black creatures anyway. Let's get the damage in first, and then let's go flying, I guess, is the idea. If we draw like on Sarah's Wings next turn, then we're not really going to need the Angelic Gift for anything except for just card draw. So yeah, they could get down a Vraska here, which deals us 3, and then next turn 5. Oops, sorry about that. I've got my Facebook open. It might ping a few times because I'm not going to close it. Disfigure on Paradise Druid. Alright. And that's it. Alright, so no disenchant effects to worry about. I do kind of want my land drop now that we've lost our baby. But yeah, just another 7 coming in. On Sarah's Wings is going to deal a lot of damage here. We even get a +1/+1 on the pacifisms because we have All That Glitters, which gives us the buff for enchantments we control. So we can lock out some of their creatures. But we actually just get on Sarah's Wings, which puts us on 9/7 with Vigilance. We're not blocking. It doesn't have First Strike. Always feels like this should give First Strike, but I guess not. I guess not. So they can't take the flying away. They can't block. They need to 25 me with 3 creatures out. I think basically what they need is Plague Crafter to make me sacrifice, or the Liliana's Sacrifice one. Can't remember the name of it. I might have just named it right there. Who knows? But it's target opponent sacrifices a creature. Oh, it's not. Sorry, it's not target because it's all playing Legacy. It's because it gets around hexproof by saying, I think it's each opponent sacrifices a creature. If you have a Liliana, you discard. It's irrelevant. They didn't have it. But, yeah, alright, time to close my Facebook. Okay, we're in, and we have our Boggle. It's the least effective Boggle, because it's basically a 1/1 with hexproof, but we have some pretty decent things to attach to it. A Bond of Flourishing to make our 3rd land drop for the Jungleborn Pioneer, and a little bit of removal, air quotes. So, yeah, pretty good. I mean, Pacifism is technically removal in this format. There's not many uncommons and commons you have to worry about that actually have activated or abilities, activated or triggered abilities. So, you know, once it can't attack or block, that's pretty much the creature locked down anyway. Question becomes, do we start locking down their creatures early? And I could see an argument for that for sure. I mean, we're gaining 3 off the Bond of Flourishing, and we've already got a land drop, so I think I actually am going to stick a Pacifism on the Rigging Runner and just stop that right now. If I hadn't drawn my land there, I would have definitely gone for Bond of Flourishing, no question, but I can do this later to find maybe a Season of Growth or some more enchantments anyway. Alright, so Jungleborn Pioneer coming down. It either gets a shock out of them, or it's a decent enough blocker for the Lava Runner. I'm happy with both. It looks like it's going to get that shock. Yeah, cool. Alright, so now it's just a case of turning this 1/1 Hexproofer into the world's worst nightmare for our opponent. Which, at this early stage, I actually think we've got a pretty decent shot of making an absolute abomination of a creature. So, we've got On Sarah's Wings is going to be the first one, since it allows us to start gaining life real early. They do have a Gutter Snipe, so this is probably a good example of one of the creatures where a Pacifism is not effective against. 2 damage off of every instant or sorcery. I think I could probably make this work, though, since we have Blanchwood Armor. This is a +3/+3, so now I'm gaining 5 life a turn. I'm basically undoing what our opponents got here. They've got 1 instant and sorcery in there, so I could go and pacify the Lava Runner. I guess it's probably fine just to pacify the Gutter Snipes as well, since they're attacking forces as well. But I have a 5/5, so I think I'm going to go with Bond of Flourishing and look for something a bit better than that, to be honest. That's not great. Do we take a land and hope Angelic Gift gives us a 4-drop? Or do we take the Vine Mare as just a blocker? I think I'm just going to take the land. Alright, get in for 5. I don't think it's too much of a decision to be making here, honestly, since we're at 24 and we're gaining 5 a turn. This is the only reason why I don't think my 5 a turn is really going to be terribly effective. I also don't want to run into like a Rimrock Knight. But it looks like we're just perfectly fine here. Yeah, down to 5, and we gain 5 if they attack. We're going up to 10 at least. Yeah, Rimrock Knight is the only reason why I would be hesitant to block there, so when they tapped out, you know, I've already guaranteed myself 5 life on the attack, and therefore they can't profit from it, so it's one of the few things. If it had First Strike, I would block without any shadow of a doubt, but the fact that they've, if they leave any mana open, I can't know for sure that this creature is going to live, and that's something you have to be very careful with when you play this deck, because there's so few creatures that if your hexproof creature dies, you're in a lot of trouble, essentially, so keep that in mind. Let's go for another game. Okay, we're in, and we've got Jungleborn Pioneer as our hexproofer. Unfortunately, we don't have a white source and all white auras, but I think I can feel pretty confident taking this hand all the same. Yeah, we should draw a white source in no time at all. And if we don't, we might just draw more green stuff anyway. So I imagine that we should have something to do anyway by the time Pioneer comes down. And a Danto Vanguard for our opponent. Okay. We have Season of Growth. Right, so Season of Growth is good for Jungleborn Pioneer. That gives us a Scry 1 twice. And finds us that white source that we're looking for the All That Glitters. They've got an Adanto Vanguard, which looks like we're up against Boggles as well. Unfortunately for them, their Boggle is not hexproofing, which means I can just shove in a Pacifism on it and be just fine. I do need the white source, of course, so if I get that off the top, that's definitely where I'm going to start throwing that. Just in case they have like a dive down to protect their Vanguards. Well, we didn't get that, so we're taking at least another 5 here. But, let me do it this way, I guess. Doesn't really matter. Yep, don't want that. Need a white source. This game could be over real quick if I don't get that white source. Nope. Alright. Now we have to top deck, otherwise our hand is useless. And we're going to be taking even more. Alright, so it's got some life gain. Totally fine so far. Again, if we get a pacifism, there's no issue here. But if we don't, lucky us. Pacifism on Adanto Vanguard. Now it can't attack or block, and everything attached to it is useless. Nice, they say. Yeah. There is an argument for the Vanguard in a Boggles deck. It's certainly, obviously, cheaper than the Pioneer. But for me personally, since I'm trying to leverage the +1/+1 based effects, things like Blanchwood Armor, I really want more forests in my deck, and I don't really expect to consistently get an Adanto Vanguard down on turn 2. That's basically how this one goes for me, to be honest. So now I can start shoving all sorts of effects on my creatures. I'm going to start with an All That Glitters. In case I get a white source, I can stick another All That Glitters on it. So I was doing that pre-land drop just in case. Didn't quite get there, unfortunately. Is there much reason to attack? I guess I might as well. I don't think that they're going to have a pump spell. Vanguard can't block. I just don't want them attacking because I haven't got my life gain set in place just yet, so I might as well just have a 2/2 back just to block whatever they might do to the Paradise Druid or the Vampire Token. Once I got the On Sarah's Wings locked in, though, we should be in a really good position. Short of them having disenchants of their own. Yeah, even something like a Vine Mare. It's going to be a war of who can make their hexproof creature bigger, quicker, and since I've got 2 All the Glitters and a Sarah's Wings to hopefully block really well against our opponent's thing, I think I've got the advantage here. Really need some good stuff, though. So a white source off the top would be great for the All That Glitters. So let's see if we can do it. This is going to be a 6-powered lifelinker. Dang it. Alright. Well, in that case, let's get down the Evolving Wild so we got the double white so we can pacify the Vampire Token maybe, and then stick another All That Glitters on our Hexproof Merfolk. We can always pacify our own Pioneer to draw a card if we really wanted to. Alright, so they got the Season of Growth. Still have 4 mana remaining, so they could have the On Sarah's Wings, which puts it on par with our creature. However, we're going to have an All That Glitters, which should put it leaps ahead of our opponent. But they do get to gain that 6 life, because obviously we're not trading off here. We don't have a backup creature to put our stuff on. They might not either, but there's no reason for us to take that chance when we know that we're at least going to get this really good attack in here against our opponent. And they might not have the same on their turn. Alright, so let's go get a Plains. Blanchwood Armor would be really good. Another All the Glitters would be really good. Honestly, I think pretty much any aura here is going to be pretty good. 3rd All the Glitters. Yeah, this game's well and truly over. Draw a card. I don't see our opponent having that same luck. Yeah, and they don't either. We're basically getting +3/+3 for all enchantments we control, so even these pacifies on any useless creature, to be honest, is a +3/+3 on our guy, as opposed to their potential for like a +1/+1 if they've got 1 All the Glitters there. So, yeah, solid start. It was basically a matter of who can out-boggle the other, and our opponent lost because they had Adanto Vanguard, and we had Jungleborn Pioneer. Pretty much as simple as that, I would say. Alright, we're in, and we got a fine hand. Again, we don't have the white mana, which is not really important to us. We have it in the Paradise Druid, and we have Season of Growth as well, which can scry off the Paradise Druid, so I'm happy with this. Obviously, Bond of Flourishing, really useful. What is it with red decks today? They're just non-stop. I guess people want to use the Artisan event for their dailies, and... Okay, Goblin War Chief. I don't know if I would make that trade up, but I don't know my opponent's deck off by heart. Prospectors can be really useful. I guess it's dependent on whether you have some real good things like Instigator. Yeah, Instigator's like a good net mana. Alright, well, we're in a really weird position right now where we could actually just straight up die. I need some white mana here so that I don't have to tap my Paradise Druid. That's not it. Alright, we could be in trouble. Could be in trouble. I need to give Vigilance to Paradise Druid is the main thing. Because I need to be able to attack, gain the life, and block something as well to gain the life. Yeah, can't really afford to block here. And could be in a lot of trouble. We're at 6. Ugh. Okay. Yeah, that's a problem. Alright, so let's do Bond of Flourishing. Look for a white source. Oh, boy. Yeah, right, well, all we really can do at this point, I think, is just play another Paradise Druid and block something with it. Hope that we actually live. Blanchwood Armor's not really going to do it. We really need the life gain off of the Onsera's Wings. That's the stickler here. So I'm going to pass. I could get 2 damage in, but I don't think it's going to be relevant. I might be forced to make the block in order to just straight up survive. Alright, so they're going to crack for Memorial on their turn, which is good for us. Grum Gully. And a swing. Okay, so 8-7, 6-5, 4-3. We're not going to die to anything here. So I think we actually just let this go. We can use 1 Paradise Druid as the white mana source. Ugh, God. Just keeps getting worse. Alright, so I'm going to tap for white just to make sure it doesn't place it on the tapped creature. We need to draw a card, and it needs to be like a Plains, so we can play all the glitters. Okay, Bond of Flourishing is life gain, though, at the end of the day. That's not too bad. So we're going to gain 3. And, yeah, I think we're going up to 9 with the Bond of Flourishing here. Really need... Yeah, there we go. Plains. Alright, we've done it. We've ascended to greatness, chat. Can we survive? I don't think so. There's 3. Cost reduction. There's 4-5. And there's a pump. Yeah. Too slow. Ugh. Had we got a white source instead of one of these forests, we'd have had an all the glitters on this, and it would probably have done a lot more damage. Would it have been enough? I'm not entirely sure. I think maybe our opponent was a little bit too fast for us there, though. So, womp womp, I guess. Womp womp. Okay, we're in, and we've got all creatures. I'm not actually against this kind of hand. We're going to take it. Paradise Druid can ramp us to a turn 3 Vine Mare, should it be relevant, and Jungle Bottom Pioneer, obviously. Makes us 2 bodies for the price of 1, so we can use 1 to block our opponent if they're playing aggro, which seems to be the flavour of the day today. So we'll see. We do obviously need some enchantments. Pretty much any of them are going to be fine, though. If it's the black deck, similar to the one we were playing, with lots of Tendrils and Revenge of Ravens, we're going to need the life gain effects. It's going to be Discovery, so maybe blue-black Surveil then. It's not going to be too bad. Yeah, some Thought Erasures in there. Looking for blue mana by the looks of things. Alright, so let's get Paradise Druid down. It should be a reasonably good matchup for us, honestly. Thought Erasure isn't going to do too much here. We really don't care about that. It's annoying, but we don't really care. I'm just going to get down Season of Growth. We can get around Cry the Carnarium with, like, Vine Mare. Night Veil, Predator, Death Touch, Hexproof. That's going to be the big issue here, for sure. Alright. Actually, no, it's not, because can't be blocked by black creatures. Got him, chat. We got him. Alright, let's go Vine Mare then, so we've got that early threat. And all the glitters is fine, but not great, since we don't have the white mana yet. We have it in Paradise Druid, but I want pure white mana, or just Blanchwood Armor at this point. I'll take another Season of Growth into Paradise Druid as well. And if we just naturally top deck another white source, then Paradise Druid's going to be fine as well. Alright. So we take 3. Yeah, Night Veil Predator not very good against the Boggles decks, actually. I was worried because it's a flyer that we can't touch with pacifisms, but we actually have the perfect creature to push through them. And we have 2 of them. And it even survives Cry the Carnarium. It's just perfect all around. Memorial to Genius. Alright, let's get a Plains. I think we want to be like Plague Crafter proof. So I might go with Jungleborn Pioneer. It also gives us a double scry as well, which is going to be really useful for finding that one enchantment to stick on Vinemare that instantly wins us this game. Alright, so we get 3 bodies. Plague Crafter can't touch us without getting a lot of removal out of our opponents. So there's a cast down, but then we get a Hexproofer, which we can sack to... Ooh, all the glitters. That actually, that'll do. It's not life gain, but we don't need it right now. The only reason we'd need life gain is for, like, Revenge of Ravens, and honestly, our creatures are too big for Revenge of Ravens to really make an impact here. So we've got ourselves some card draw. Can't take the card that I actually want to play, but do get the extra Vinemare, which is... It's not great for us. It goes without saying. As Narset. Ah! Rude. Well, we can kill Narset first, and then play all the glitters, and that allows us to draw. That seems fine to me. We could also just stick all the glitters on Vinemare for a +2/+2 and swing in. Could get us the lethal next turn. Quite possibly. That doesn't do anything. Do I want them finding another answer is the thing. I guess we'll see what Jungleborn Pioneer scries. If I see a card that wins me the game next turn, not that, then I'll go for his face. And that won't either. So I guess in that case, we just take out Narset. Which allows me to start drawing cards, and then we stick all the glitters on Vinemare. Another forest. Oh, play it. Yep. If we top decked, we could be in a really good position. We weren't going to win in 2 turns, so not guaranteed anyway. So, yep, pretty good. Pretty good. Alrighty then, we are in, and we got the Forest Aura Nut Draw. Unfortunately, we don't have a creature to put it on, but Bond of Flourishing should get us that. So I'm going to keep this hand. And yeah, we've also got Season of Growth, so our first creature can start drawing us cards. I think we're going to be in a very good position here. Ornithopter. Could be an all that glitters kind of deck. Yeah, it looks definitely like it. So they're going to be early game aggroing us, and yeah, we've got Jungleborn Pioneer. I think I'm going to go with Season of Growth first, just in case we draw our 3rd land. Then we want to do Pioneer into just Blanchwood Armor, something like that. Another Ornithopter Manifold Key to make it unblockable, and a Puppet. Yeah, this is all in artifacts. As long as we don't see an all that glitters really early, like I'm talking next turn, I think we've won this game. We've basically got the equivalent of Blanchwood Armor, all the glitters here. Come on, Plains. That's what I really want to see. Well, it's an Evolving Wilds, and we're not using the 1 mana, so it works. Let's just crack it now. Grab a Plains so that we can cast on Serra's Wings, if we really want to. You obviously could go for the extra +1/+1 on Blanchwood Armor, but I think once we start attaching all of these enchantments, we might actually want the old Plains. Because I think on Serra's Wings is now officially going to be quite important. Alright, let's stick... where do we want to go with this? Do we want to do Paradise Druid because it has an extra power? Probably not. Let's go for the Jungleborn Pioneer. The problem is that 5/5 Ornithopter. So let's get a Scry one twice. And honestly, I think land drop is just perfectly fine. We have one, so we're going to bottom that. Legendary, so we can't really apply more. And we've already got our creatures, so we don't need another one. Alright, not great. Need that land. Curious Obsession on Ornithopter. Okay. Yeah, we might be a bit too slow at this rate. Plays an island. And got something. Alright, well, we got a forest, which means we can on Sarah's Wings. It's not great. Could go with the Blanchwood Armor first as kind of a gotcha situation. Give it +3/+3. We're not blocking regardless, and we can't attack either, so it really doesn't matter too much how we sequence this, I wouldn't say. We've made our land drop, so there's really nothing off the top that actually makes any kind of difference. I guess I just want to have... I guess I want all on Sarah's Wings for the potential for an all attack, I guess. Let's just do that. I want... What do I want? Another 2-drop enchantment? Like an all that glitters? Alright, pass the turn. It's up to the magic gods now. I dare say hexproof isn't actually necessarily relevant here. 7, you say? And untap. Sure. Well, we can't block, so... We're at 2. They draw a card. We do have another 3 life in hand as well. Conclave Tribunal on Sarah's Wings, that'll do it. Oh, never mind. That won't do it. Well, now I think we might have just won. So, yeah, good game. You're right, it is a good game. I have absolutely no idea why you chose that of all things. You lost the game. Take 9. Alright. Well, we've gone from losing the game to winning the game. Which is cool. They literally need another tribunal, otherwise we do actually just lose the game again. But they don't have it, so... Yeah, good game. Make one thing unblockable. So they get to draw a card. They don't have any white stuff, but they do have Inquisitive Puppet, which can actually be the white creature they need to play Tribunal here. If they draw it. But not the case, apparently. So let's go Blanchwood Armor on our dude again. This will gain us enough life to just straight up win the game. Bond of Flourishing. Let's get... I don't think it really matters, to be honest. Let's just get another land drop. Gain 16 life. Forced to block. Yep. We're back up at 24. I really hope that GG was... Oh, I guess I win the game. GG. That would be my favourite thing. Alright, so I'm going to make Ornithopter unblockable. But that's fine. If you do that, you lose. So you can't afford to attack, which means I'm going to lose Curious Obsession. Oh no, they got Gingerbread, of course. Yeah, this is any creature attacks. It's not the creature that's got it attached. So we're all good. They're fine. Alright, come on, aura me, baby. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, there's literally nothing they can do to stop this from being a bad decision. Let's gain 22 life. Good game. ain't gonna do it. I ain't gonna do it, but yeah. So if we hadn't have... If they'd have taken On Sarah's Wings instead of Seasons of Growth, we would have lost there. So, yeah. Take that as you will, I guess. Alrighty then, and we're in. I think this is actually on the verge of being one of the better hands that you could get. We've got Paradise Druid, which is a hexproof creature as long as it's untapped, and On Sarah's Wings gives Vigilance. So we've basically got an untouchable Boggle. We're going to have to be careful with it, though, because we don't want to tap it to put Sarah's Wings on if our opponent's playing something like a black deck. We got the cool Sliver Sleeves. Alright, but they're on green, so we shouldn't really have to worry about anything killing our Paradise Druid when it's tapped. Now we do. It's going to be an Explore deck. Alright. I'm going to get a Jungle Hollow. Alright, well, we're just going to go with the Paradise Druids. We can stick an All That Glitters on it next turn, and then turn after that go on Sarah's Wings. That's totally fine. So, what's the big problem with this particular matchup? They probably have Status Statue, which allows them to get rid of enchantments and artifacts. They've got Wild Growth Walker, which allows them to gain loads of life and have a big creature, but we can match that for sure. And we could go double Bond of Flourishing, but if we lose Paradise Druid, then we're in trouble. So I think I'm gonna start suiting up this Paradise Druid and just leaving it at that. I don't want to tap it because there's no way that black mana doesn't open up removal for them. Oh, they've got a Cry of the Carnarium. Okay. Well, we're just actually luckier than we are good. So, another Paradise Druid. Let's go for another creature. Ugh. We didn't get one. Let's go maybe Angelic Gift then to draw a card. Yeah, okay. That Cry of the Carnarium was very good. Actually lost one of our best enchantments. Vraska, Swarms, Eminence. There we go. Use your words, Tom. Use your words. Alright, don't do what you're planning on doing, please. Thank you. Let's do Blanchwood Armor. Puts it out of Cry of the Carnarium range. Then we're going to draw a card with Angelic Gift. We're going to leave it at that. If we tap out, we lose the Hexproof, which is a very bad idea. After that, though, we've got the On Sarah's Wings, and I don't think we can lose. So, yeah, we're going to take one. Turns the 1-1 into a 2-2. Vraska passive, doing its thing. And make another Death Toucher. We don't care. Alright, so On Sarah's Wings, and that's going to be the game. Short of them having something like Plaguecrafter, we have really no issues here. Let's go Bond of Flourishing. Another Blanchwood Armor. Yeah, I guess so. I was hoping for another creature there to actually play around Plaguecrafter, but this is fine. We're just going to gain 8 here. And we literally have to dodge Plaguecrafter this turn. I guess they could have Status Statue, as we mentioned, and take the On Sarah's Wings off, but we still have flying at that point. We just lose the Vigilance, which would be a big issue. So it's a matter of drawing one of them again. Alright. Well, Season of Growth's a good draw. Season of Growth allows me to draw a card off of Blanchwood Armor. I don't think it really matters. Taps us out of white, but I don't think we're going to use it anyway. And that puts us on 13, so unless they can destroy an enchantment here. Cast down their own creature, yep. You got it. This is why Boggles is so powerful. For that exact reason. Most people in black decks just have a ton of removal, and you can get around that. Plaguecrafter and Sacrifice effects are really your only issue where that's concerned. So, yeah, managed to get it there, and finished on a nice tasty life total. I can't actually remember how big our creature was, but we'd have probably been in the 40s there. We've won 8 times today. Not too bad. Not too bad at all. I don't think we've really dropped a game at all. One of the games was basically an auto win. Somebody mulled and scooped, if you were curious and did the math. But, yep. This Boggles deck is pretty solid. I highly recommend it if you are interested in that kind of Boggles enchantment style of deck, and it's nice to get that enchantment hype up for the new set as well, which is looking pretty sweet. But yeah, other than that, make sure to hit that like button if you did like the content. Subscribe as well for some more content. I might come back for another Artisan deck in the future, since we don't have the timer on the Artisan event, which means it must be here for at least another day. I'm enjoying this format. It's a lot of fun. There's a lot of cool things you can do with it. It's pretty much solved at this point, I would say. The Tendril control deck that I built is very solid and can beat a lot of decks in this format. The only ones it can't really beat is the one that we're playing right now. And then this one can be beaten by Hyper Aggro, essentially, which can be beaten by the black control deck. So we've kind of got that rock, paper, scissors kind of thing in this format, which is a good thing, honestly. No one deck is really dominating right now, which is good to see. So, yeah, I really enjoy this format. Hopefully you guys do too. If you do, we'll be back probably for another video with it anyway. So, thanks very much for watching, guys. Hope you've enjoyed. I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.